can keep working at it. Okay,
Just a dream.
Is this a dream?
This is separation's final step, with which salvation, which proceeds to go the other way, begins. This final step is an effect of what has gone before, appearing as a cause. The miracle is the first step in giving back to cause the function of causation, not effect. For this confusion has produced the dream, and while it lasts, will awakening be feared, nor will the call to awakening be heard, because it seems to be the call to fear.
Like every lesson that the Holy Spirit requests you learn, the miracle is clear. It demonstrates what He would have you learn and shows you its effects are what you want. In His forgiving dreams are the effects of yours undone, and hated enemies perceived as friends with merciful intent. Their enmity is seen as causeless now because they did not make it, and you can accept the role of maker of their hate because you see that it has no effects. Now are you freed from this much of the dream. The world is neutral, and the bodies that still seem to move about as separate things need not be feared, and so they are not sick.
How'd they get that sick in there? All of a sudden
Sick means in a diseased state of mind. It doesn't necessarily mean a bodily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it just means you're not at peace.
Oh, okay.
You're in diseasement,
Okay.
in an uneasy state of mind, lack of peace. Okay, I guess it's Bonnie's turn.
The miracle returns the cause of fear to you who made it. But it also shows that having no effects, it is not cause, because the function of causation is to have effects. And where effects are gone, there is no cause. Thus is the body healed by miracles, because they show the mind made sickness, and employed the body to be victim or effect of what it made. Yet half the lesson will not teach the whole. The miracle is useless if you learn but that the body can be healed. For this is not the lesson it was sent to teach. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick. Projecting out its guilt caused nothing and had no effects.
Is that saying the miracle's not on the body level, it's on the mind level? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, if your mind's healed, you're going to have a resulting manifestation at the body level, but that's not the focus of attention, because the mind is where it happens, and the mind is where the answer is healed, because the body's a dream.
There's studies out now that between 20 and 30% of population at large suffers from some sort of mental health problems. I mean, we're saying everybody does. But clearly, there are a lot of people who are living with anxiety and suffering really needlessly, once we know this. And so we're talking about huge numbers of people
Yes.
that could benefit from this learning and our application of the healing. It's huge.
But it could also be that, I mean, what the Course is saying too, is that if we've got a physical pain, not necessarily, I mean, you could have a situation that's not causing you pain. If you've got physical distress called sickness, it's because the mind isn't thinking properly. So we don't usually think of that as mental illness. But there's a part of the Course that says all therapy is mental therapy, all sickness is mental illness. All sickness. Now, that's pretty intense. That's just really saying where the source of the sickness is.
Well, that's interesting. You're saying all physical illness would be really mental illness.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
I think it's in the psychotherapy pamphlet.
Mental diseasement and lack of peace causes distress at all levels. Is it Rusty?
Mhm.
This world is full of miracles. They stand in shining silence next to every dream of pain and suffering, of sin and guilt. They are the dream's alternative. The choice to be the dreamer rather than deny the active role in making up the dream. They are the glad effects of taking back the consequence of sickness to its cause. The body is released because the mind acknowledges this is not done to me, but I am doing this. And thus the mind is free to make another choice instead. Beginning here, salvation will proceed to change the course of every step in the descent to separation until all the steps have been retraced, the light are gone, and all the dreaming of the world undone.
That last sentence will explain why you go from one miracle to the next miracle. We took these steps down, you're descending down this ladder. You got to turn around, and each decision we made for separation has to be reversed. So this isn't a failure that you have to keep hitting another space. It's another step on the ladder. And like you said, eventually the ladder's gone, and all the dreamings of the world is done. So in that way, you don't have to judge yourself or let your ego go after you, because you got another step to take. We have this ladder to transcend, to walk up. Does that make sense? You have those old images of the stairways to heaven.
Yeah, right.
We're on the stairway to heaven. And each step is a miracle. So it's a choice to reverse an attack thought. So this is this is a moment in time when we go, I have a choice here. I can continue to believe I'm a victim of someone else's attack, or I can choose to see that I'm doing it to myself and stop doing it. So that's what we have continually as we walk out. Each step up the ladder is a reverse of an attack thought on ourselves that appears to be coming from somewhere else.
And all of this is undoing the fear that we truly could separate,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And that we are deserving of it.
Yeah, the fear from descending.
Right.
Each decision was a decision for separation,
Mm-hmm.
and it caused fear because the whole idea that you no longer are this powerful eternal being is going to make you afraid, because you can die and you can be unfairly treated. So that's scary. So each descent, each step got a little deeper into the fear, a little deeper into the pit. So then you can get terrified until you turn around. In fact, he says, your tolerance for pain is very high, but it's not unlimited. Eventually, you hit one of the stair rungs and you go, I'm not going down anymore. I'm turning around. I don't want to do this anymore. This is scaring me. I want to go where the light is. So that's what we're doing.
So that's actually the story of the prodigal son.
Yes, exactly. We all are the prodigal son. And we're returning. And all we need to do is to know, like the story of the prodigal son, it's not like we have to do any penance or we have to do anything but recognize we deserve to be in our Father's kingdom. These miracles are steps to our awareness that we deserve to be there, because remember, he just threw a feast. He didn't do anything but when he came home, it's just time for a party.
Yeah.
But we have to believe we deserve to be there to get there. And that's what each of the steps are, is I do deserve to be there because I am not an attacker. I am not separate. I am really the love of God still. And here I am. I'm choosing it. And I'm choosing it. And pretty soon you're going to walk into the party.
Well, I think I'm beginning to understand. So if all of this disease, this mental illusion stuff, comes from the fear of God, so we're finally getting back to the love of God,
Mm-hmm.
which really brings it back to the damn thing the Course has been talking about all the time. It's either fear or love.
That's right.
Man, that's sort of neat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He's trying to make it very simple, and we
Well,
make
it's
it so
taken me a
complicated.
little while.
Listen, it's not
What can
taking
I
you
tell
near
you?
as long as it takes most people. We're talking, that's hard to get, that this is that simple. You're either in a state of fear or you're in a state of love.
Yeah.
And so is everyone else. And then when you're in a state of fear, what you're doing is calling for love. So when we start to see that's what we're doing, we can start to see that's what everybody's doing, and get ready for the party.
All right, sounds good.
And